Hi, everybody. This week we are talking about group formation and what we need to track and monitor as leaders of a group counseling experience. Dr. Dalton talked about in her lecture the beginning stages of group formation, and she said that it begins with a proposal. The proposal can be an idea that somebody has, or it can be an observable need. Uh, the group proposal needs to include the purpose and objectives of the group. The purpose and objectives need to be clear, concise, and realistic for the group members to achieve. Techniques and interventions also need to be considered and decided upon, as well as what kind of assessments the leader is going to utilize to evaluate the group process. Our text provided a model that new counselors can follow to form a group counseling experience. The first step, according to our text, is Genesis, which again begins with an idea or an observable need. The next step is to conduct research on how to prepare and facilitate the group. This research can be achieved by reading scholarly articles or even speaking with peers or supervisors in the field. The next step is the organizational phase of the group. This is truly the meat of what is going to go on in the group. During the organizational phase of forming a group, the person that's going to lead the group needs to consider what theme they would like to have and what type of group they intend to facilitate, such as psychoeducational or strictly counseling. The leader also needs to consider what duration the group is going to have. Is it going to be open-ended or closed? I remember that it was suggested that new counselors probably should begin with a closed group. The other things that need to be considered that were mentioned in the text are the size of the group, location, such as the setting, and the cost of the group. All of these things are factors that are going to impact the success of the group members and the facilitator in achieving goals. The fourth step in the group formation process, which was suggested in our text, is the pre-group interview. The pre-group interview is definitely recommended, but it can't always realistically be achieved. During the pre-group interview, the composition of the group is important to consider. You want it to be heterogeneous in nature, because the group members that are selected are going to impact the interpersonal dynamics and growth potential of the group. So this is definitely something we need to carefully consider. As far as the composition of the group, you want to select members who are free of serious mental health concerns, such as severe anger or hostility. You want members to be free of paranoia and be able to demonstrate that they have at least one significant interpersonal relationship in their life. Evaluations are used in the group counseling experience to track and monitor the verbal interactions and relationship dynamics between group members and the leader. But these assessments are going to support the integrity of the group as a whole. Other areas that we're going to need to track and monitor in group counseling experience include things that you see in the initial stages of the group. Dr. Dalton in her lecture suggested that fear and anxiety are extremely high at the beginning of a group. We also will need to manage and monitor trust issues and acceptance, as well as resistance. Resistance takes many forms. Resistance is not an unusual feature of counseling. It sounds like it's pretty common. And it is indicative of how people change and how they interact with people. We had a very interesting discussion this week, and I just wanted to mention a couple of things. Jeff, in his post, talked about the importance of facilitating decision making with our clients. I think this is definitely something that we need to keep in mind because I think that facilitating this decision making in the long run is going to impact our clients' acceptance of responsibility for change. That was something we need to really think about. I also wanted to mention something that Dr. Lawson mentioned in the discussion board this week. And she was talking about the need to really think about the composition of your group and the fact that not everybody is going to be appropriate for a group. And in fact, one group member can throw off the whole group dynamic. I would like to just share a quote from the discussion board. She said that it was okay to sacrifice the good of many for one. I just wanted to end with that. That's something to think about. I will see you all next week.